Okay. Can you see the notes now on your screen? Okay. So see, in the yesterday's class we have discussed regarding the jolt and the squelch machine. Now we'll see the slant slinger. So see, this is a slant slinger. Okay, and this slant slinger is used for transporting sorry, for transporting the sand, okay, and to fill the sand into the molding box. Now you can see over here in this diagram, see, this is a sand bin is there in which all the sand is been collected, and these are the bucket, okay, bucket type elevator is there, okay, in which the sand is been filled, and this is what the belt drive is there. From this belt drive over here there is an hopper is there. From that hopper the sand falls in this sand impeller, okay, and this is connected to over here by the swinging arm where the vibration is carried out, and this is what the molding box is there, in which the pattern is kept in where the sand is been poured in that molding box, okay. So see, in this sand bin the mixed sand with the additives and the binders, okay, and different components is been put over here. Then with the help of this bucket the sand is been collected in this bucket, okay, and this bucket is moving in a circular format from like this way, okay, in this circular format by the two rollers are been attached over here, okay. For that two rollers the belt is there. For that belt the bucket evaluator is there, which carry the sand with it and throw that sand into the belt conveyor. Over here there is a belt conveyor is there. From that belt conveyor through one hopper it is been collected into an this ramming head or the sand impeller. This sand impeller is connected to the swinging arm. Swinging arm means what? It has been what you can say, it swing in forward and the backward direction like this. So swing in the forward and the backward direction, okay. And this arm is this ramming head is connected with a vibrator by which the pressure of the sand is being generated. With a high pressure it is fall into this molding box and work like an rammed or unpacking sand and filled into this molding box, okay. So this is what the simple construction and the working of an slant slinger, okay. For the mass production industry these types of sand slingers are being used. Now let us say the sand molding processes. So the different sand molding processes are there: green sand molding process, no bake sand molding process, and you can see over here the different types of process are there: plaster mold, cement bonded, swap mold, shell mold, core sand mold, dry sand mold, and carbon dioxide mold, and no bake sand mold. So these are some of the sand molding processes are there. So slightly I am going faster because today itself I have to complete your first module. Okay, and now you can see over here the simple green sand mold. It is in the previous class I have explained what is the green sand and how does the green sand is been prepared, why it is called as a green sand, okay. So the normal sand, it is a normal sand nowadays which is been used maximum in the industries for removing the casting. Now you can see over here the first step is that the at the bottom board the pattern is been kept and the molding box is been kept. In this molding box the sand is been filled or rammed tightly so it can cover all the boxes. Okay, then once the sand is been filled up to the level of the drag box, that is a bottom box, the box which is kept at the bottom is called as an drag. Okay, of this level, then what is been done in the second step, you can see over here this bottom this drag box is been turned in upside downside. Okay, now see over here the pattern is over here, it is been turned and kept in opposite direction. Okay, then afterwards what happened, this pattern is been removed from that sand, you can see the hollow cavity is generated over here, that is called as a mold cavity. Okay, then afterwards in the third step what is been done, this is the first step, second step. In the third step what is doing, the drag is been kept in upside down direction, then the cope is been kept at the top, another molding box is kept at the top, that is called as a cope. Okay, in that also the sand is been rammed properly, same procedure. If the cope is been in the cope box, the sand is been rammed at outside also. Okay, or over there also, then it is been assembled with each other, first cope and the second drag is been assembled with each other, and the spear is been given, and over here the riser is been given. In the previous class only I have explained what is the spear in the casting terminology, in there only I have explained you what is the riser and what is the spear. Now this is the fourth step in which the is ready for pouring the molten metal. This is a mold cavity of a green sand which is ready for uh, pouring for the molten metal. Now over here the small holes are being given, vent holes are being given. What is the use of that vent hole? So that the hot gases, when you pour the liquid molten metal into this mold cavity, so whatever the hot gases are coming out, that should be removed out. Okay, and over here the cavity is been filled, over here the molten metal is filled into this mold cavity and it comes out of that uh, another side. This is called as an riser. Also the riser and the spear are an wooden made conical shape bar is there. Okay, which has been inserted into that sand. Okay, and then afterwards the sand is been rammed, then that bar is been removed out. Okay, wooden bar or a metallic bar is there which is in a conical shape, which has been removed out. Once it removed out, so you will get the hollow space over here from where the molten metal can pour inside the mold cavity and comes out of the riser. It, when you pour from over this side, it will fill the mold cavity and extra amount of the molten metal will be come out of this riser. Okay, so this is how the green sand mold is been made. Now let us see some advantage of the green sand mold. Least expensive method. Okay, it is the cheaper one because the green sand can easily available, the sand can be reused many times. Okay, it can be reused many times after reconditioning with the clay and the moisture. If you, once the sand is been used for the casting, okay, then once again you have to add some quantity of the clay and the moisture is nothing but the water. Okay, then it can be used again and again. So what is the disadvantage? The mold prepared by this process lack in the permeability, strength and the stability. So the permeability and the stability, strengthen and the stability, so these are the three different properties. Okay, so what is the permeability? So see, when the molten metal is poured into this mold cavity, so the hot gases which has to be released, which has to be come out of these boxes through the medium of the sand. Okay, that property is called an permeability. If sand doesn't allow the hot gases to pass through it, okay, pass through it by the vent holes. Okay, so that means what, the permeability property of that particular sand is less. Okay, then the strength, the mold cavity should have the strength. Okay, it should have a strength so that when you pour the molten metal, this total assembly should not break over here. Okay, so it has to be a strong strength. Just for an example, whatever, if you take a daily uses laddus, okay, laddus which you are eating. So while taking from the sweet mart that laddu up to your home, it should not break over there at the middle. Okay, if it is break, so what is use of that laddu? Okay, so it doesn't get in a shape and you cannot get an interest to it. The same example, just I have given a simple example of the laddu. So over here, this is also, if you consider that example, when you pour the molten metal, it should not break that mold cavity. Okay, it should have the strength and the stability. Stability means what? If you prepare a mold at a morning, it should stable with the same properties of permeability, strength, whatever the properties up to the evening. Okay, for the longer time it should stable over there. If it doesn't stable over there, that means what? After making an 1 hour a mold, then within a half hour it been crack over there, so it is no use. So because the thousands of casting has to remain, so 200 300 the molding box has been prepared at a time. So it takes a time to pour all the molding, sorry, it takes a long time for preparing the molding boxes for the pouring purpose. For that reason it should stable for a longer time. So this is what the sum of the strength that it should have. The disadvantage, the mold prepared by this process lack in permanence, so this is one of the disadvantage. Okay, now next we'll see the dry sand mold. So what is a dry sand mold? Note that the dry sand mold is similar to the green sand mold process in all the respect the mold is been heated or baked in an oven to a suitable temperature in order to remove the moisture contained in the mold and make it dry before pouring the molten metal into the mold. So see, the dry sand mold is similar process is that just like in green sand mold. Only the thing is that the green sand mold having the moisture water content is there, it is in a wet condition. Okay, in the dry sand mold what is happening, it is been heated, the mold which is been prepared, that is been heated due to the giving the preheat before pouring the molten metal in the mold cavity. That mold cavity is been heated, that is called as an preheating. Okay, heated. Once the heat is given to that mold, what happens, the whatever the water particles are there in the sand, that has been evaporated into an atmosphere, comes out of that atmosphere. So that is what the thing is happen in the dry sand mold. But remaining the procedure is similar to the green sand mold. In the no bake sand mold, it is also some same process is there. Over here the no heat is been given. Okay, the self setting of a no bake system is one which the mold and the core does not require a baking, no heating is required. Okay, the bonding strength developed in the mold and the core is been means by a self setting, that is the chemical reaction between the binders and the hardness. So see, in this type of molding process, some binders and the hardeners chemicals are been added after few times. Okay, after few seconds the this chemical comes to contact with each other and reacts with each other and makes the mold property. Which are the mold properties? The permeability and the strength and the stability increases that mold properties, okay, by its own chemical reaction. The catalytics or an accelerator is used to speed up the chemical reaction. Over here there are the various chemical commercially used as an binders and the hardness in these types of non baked sand molding. Okay, in India, alkyl binder system, also known as a three-part system, is widely used as a no baked binder system. The procedure for preparing the no bake binder systems, okay, the three-part system is explained as follows. So let us see the procedure how to make. First, the sand is mixed with the following ingredients. So binders, part A is an alkyne resin. Resin is nothing but like a gum type liquid solution is there, which is been mixed in the sand so that it can bind. A liquid solution is there just like a gum type. And the hardener, cobalt and the lead, which works like an hardener. Hardener means what? Which strengthens. If you take the cement concrete, okay, if the water is mixing in the cement concrete, which works like an binder, and the cement which after uh, sometimes the how the cement powder is converted into an harder when it comes to the atmospheric condition. Like this way the cobalt and the lead which works like an hardener. Then next is the third one is an catalysts. The methylenes, dipylines and isocanates 20 to 25% based on the sand binder's weight. So these are three ingredients which has to be added in the sand. While preparing the sand mixture, calculate the amount of the binder part A hardener and the part B, okay, are the first pre-mixed for the duration of the cobalt of for 1 mm. The part A and the part B, that is the cobalt hardener and the resins are been mixed first before, okay, for a duration of 1 minute you have to mix it, prepare. The pre-mixed constituents are then added to known quantity of a silica sand and mixed. Silica sand is also, that is a base sand which has been added over here through a 2 minutes in a sand muller. Sand muller is just like a mixer in which the two rollers are there, in which the sand is been mixed with this all ingredients. Then calculate the amount of the catalytics part C is added. So as per the requirement, 20 to 25% of the base sand, whatever the base sand you have taken, the weight of that 20 to 25, the part C is been, that is the characteristics been added in that one and mixed, okay. Okay, the mixing should be a delay because the reaction start immediately after the catalytic is added. The following instant strength developed take place when you add the catalytic, then the mixing is been happen. Then next rest of the procedure is just like in green sand procedure. The ramming is to be done and the sand is been filled into that molding box. Then you have to withdraw the pattern. Withdraw pattern means what, you have to remove the pattern and cuts the runner and riser over there in the mold, and the remaining cases is just like a same like a green sand mold. This is what the simple procedure of the no bake sand. Now we'll go with the coarse sand molding. So the coarse sand molding, in this process the complete mold is prepared by the assembling a number of cores together. Over here no mold is been used, only the core is been prepared, okay, by the different types of cores the mold cavity is been prepared. The core are been prepared by mixing a suitable portion of the silicas and the binders. Silica is the base sand and some of the binders. The various resins, okay, various chemicals or an oils are used as an binders, okay, just organic or the inorganic, it depends on the mold or the required binders, easily available binders that has to be selected. The cores are prepared individually in separate the cores are prepared individually in a separate core box. So there is a different core box is there, okay. The cores are also made by the bake and no bake methods is there, okay. From that where the core is being prepared in the oven or without oven, so that cores are being taken. So I will explain the core procedure, how to make the core. There is a different procedures are there. I will tell you how that core is being prepared. After which they are being baked in an oven to develop a greater strength, and the core sand mold required no flash to the surrounding of the mold. The advantage of this procedure is that the high temperature of the bond between the sand grain is being destroyed, thereby the causing of collapsibility of an molding sand. This helps to separate the casting easily, okay. So once you pour the molten metal, when it's after pouring the molten metal, when it's gets solidified, so for removing that casting from that molding box is very easy as compared to other green sand, and the dust particles on that casting is not much more. The sand doesn't attach to that casting compared to the green sand in the coarse sand mold. So this is what the simple procedure of the coarse sand molding. Then next we will go with the carbon dioxide molding. The carbon dioxide molding, also known as a sodium silicate process, is one of the widely used process for preparing the mold and the cores. In this process the sodium silicate is being used as a binder, okay, in which the more percentage of the carbon content is there. But the sodium silicate activates or tends to bind the sand particles only in the presence of carbon dioxide gases. For this reasons the process is commonly known as a carbon dioxide process. Now see over here, the sodium silicate is been used as a base sand, and it is work as a binder also. So it works when it works like a binder when the carbon dioxide gas is been released to the sand. Now you can see over here the procedure. The step involves in the carbon dioxide mode. The suitable portion of the silica sand, that is the base sand, and the silica sorry, sodium silicate binder to 3 to 5% of the base sand. How much quantity of the sand you have taken, weight it, of that weight 3 to 5% of the silica sand is been added, okay, are mixed together. To prepare the sand mixture, the additives like aluminum oxide, molasses, etc. are added to impart the favorable properties and to improve the collapsibility of the sand, okay. So see, aluminum oxide and the molasses etc. are been added, which works like an additives. Why they are being added? To increase the favorable properties like a permeability and the strength and the stability. So these are the properties to increase these properties, okay. So these types of additives are being added to improve the collapsibility of the sand. Collapsibility means what? The sand mold should not break over there. The mold should not break at the middle or before pouring the molten metal. For that reason these additives are been added. Then the pattern is been placed on the flat surface, drag of enclosing. Same next procedure is just like an green sand mold, okay. How the green sand molding is been done. On the third step, what they have do, the drag box is been filled with the sand mixture and the ram manually still hit the top surface. Rest of the operation is placing like an spear, okay. So is pressing like an spear and the runners risers has to be done, okay. The vent holes are been given to remove the gases, okay. The at the various location that helps the vent holes to put a suitable dimension. At this stage, after completing the same all the procedure, what at the last what they do, the carbon dioxide gases are being released or thrown through this vent hole in this mold, okay. The carbon dioxide gases with the help of in pipes are being released. Then once you introduce the carbon dioxide in this molding box, the sodium silicates react with carbon dioxide gases and form the silicate gel, okay. That's powder sodium silicate, or in an hard sodium silicate is converted into an liquid type of silicate gel when it comes to the contact with the carbon dioxide. Sodium silicate comes to the contact with the carbon dioxide gases, the chemical reaction happens. Due to that chemical reactions, the sodium silicate is converted into a liquid type of gel that binds the sand particles together, forming a rigid and the strong mold. So this is what the chemical reaction they have given over here. So say NaSiO3, that is plus CO2, that is a sodium silicate, plus carbon dioxide is converted into an Na2 carbon dioxide 2 plus silicon is been separated over here. Silica gel is been converted. So this is what the simple chemical reaction is there, okay. Then the spear and the risers patterns are now withdrawn from the mold and the gates are been cut into an usual manner, and the mold cavity has been finished and made ready for the pouring. So this is what the simple procedure of an carbon dioxide molding is there. Now let us say the advantage. Instant strength developed. Instant strength develops means what? At fast, quickly the strength of the mold cavity has been developed. The development of the strength take place immediately over here after the carbon dioxide gases is completed, okay. When the carbon dioxide is after completing, when you release the carbon dioxide is been completed, the strength of the molten metal is been increases. Obviously the sodium silicate starts to convert it into an gel form, okay. For that reason instantly it converted into a gel form, so the strength of the molten cavity has been increased. So these are the some of the advantage. So please go in the detail. I will share the notes. I have already shared this notes MCW in your group, so please read one. You have to read once again, then only you can understand the procedure, okay. Now next we will go with the shell molding. So I will show the diagram of the shell molding. So by this diagram you can understand easily. So see, there are so many steps are there. Okay, so there are different steps are there in the shell molding. By this different step you can understand over here. Okay, so see, first of all, this is a pattern is there. Okay, on this pattern is been placed. So this is a pattern. First the pattern is been prepared, and then in the second step what is been done, the molding box is there. On this molding box the pattern is been capped on, and then it is clamped with both the side. Okay, in this molding box the sand is been filled in this molding box. Okay, then afterwards what is been happened, some metal, this is a metallic pattern is there. On this metallic pattern some resins or the some liquid chemicals are been pasted. Okay, or been what you can say brushed over there. Then in the second step what is been done over here, you can see over here the box is been turned. So see this second step and the third step, this is the second step and this is the third step. What you can see the difference over here, the pattern is at the top, over here the pattern is at the bottom. The box is been turned over there. When the box is been turned, the sand will be stick to this pattern, the sand is been stick to this pattern. Then afterwards once again in the fourth step the box is been turned. Okay, and this pattern is been removed out from that box and kept over here in the fifth step. Once the pattern has been kept over here, then whatever the sand is attached to this pattern is been easily removed out. Okay, is been removed out. So this is a half portion. Same procedure wise another half portion is been done, and in the final step what is been done over here, the molding sand is been kept. Okay, molding box is there. In this molding box you can see over here, in this molding box what is done, so like this way the two different set are been kept at the middle and been clamped with one clamping device are been joined over here. And over here you can see the metal chute is there by which the sand is been clamped. Okay, before clamping the sand, the mold in the molding box the sand is been filled, that is called as an, in that box, that box the sand is been filled, that is called as a back sand. Okay, then afterwards uh, this hardened shell, okay, this hard shell, that is the resin sand is there, which converted into a hard shell. Okay, that is been placed over here. Okay, you can see over here both are been joined. Okay, before that the sand is been filled in this box, then this has been kept over here. Then afterwards the mold cavity is generated and the molten metal is poured within this mold cavity. So like this way the shell molding is been carried out. Okay, so this is what the simple procedure of the shell molding, which has been done now. Okay, now go through the procedure, reads one time, then you can understand over here how it is been done. Okay. Okay, I hope you have understand this shell molding. So see over here the pattern is there, which is been, that is a metallic pattern is there, which is been heated, preheated, the heat is been given to this metal. And over here the resin sand is there. Resin sand means what, the chemical mix sand is there. Okay, the pattern is kept on this box, then afterwards the box is been turned, then afterwards the resin sands comes with the contact with that hot metallic pattern. Hot metallic pattern, when it comes to the contact with the hot metallic pattern, it sticks to the pattern. Once it sticks to the pattern, this pattern that metallic resin sand get uh, undergoes the chemical reaction and the sand is converted into an hard one. Okay, once the metal this metal pattern get starts to cool over there. Okay, first it is heated, then when it starts to cool over here, so automatically the hard shell is been separated from that pattern. Once this hard shell is separated, like this way the two different parts hard shell has been prepared, has been removed out. okay, and another box the sand is been filled, and within that sand this shell has been kept. Okay, this shell has been clamped with each other. Then the molten metal is poured into this uh, in between the gap of this both the shell, okay, which works like a mold cavity. So this is what the simple procedure. Now let us see the investment molding. So see, in the investment molding, it is an why it is called as an investment molding, because it is a costlier and take a lengthy procedure and heavier type of the molding it is. Now let us see what is the investment molding and how it is been prepared. Before going to this, this you can see over here, same like an just now you have seen the shell molding, same procedure is there in this investment molding also. Now you can see over here the molding box is there. Over here the mold cavity is generated. So how this mold cavity is generated, that thing we are going to see over here. So we will see some steps involved in the investment molding. The first step is that, now you can see over here, the first step is that a die and the pattern making. The wax pattern is prepared by injecting a liquid wax into a prefabricated die, okay, and appropriate same geometry and the gravity of the desired part and the shape. The severe such patterns are produced in the similar inner and attached to the wax gate and cured by the means of an heated, and also melt the wax from the tree as shown in figure. Now we can see where the pre-coating wax pattern is there, and the hot wax pre is dipped into an silica sand flour or suspended acrylic silicate binders. Okay, see, students, now this is what the simple procedure is there in the 1, 2, 3 steps, 4, 5, 5 steps, 6 steps are there. Okay, in these 6 steps, the investment molding has been prepared. Now let us see which are that 6 steps is there. Okay, first you can see where these are the, now you can see over here, these are the casting, these are the final products which are coming out, and for this final products, so see this all the 6 steps are been done. So this is what the pattern is there. You can see over here the pattern. The pattern is been attached to this tree is nothing but, you can see over here, these are the gateways, okay, which are been attached over here from where the molten metal is been poured. Okay, for this what is been done, the severe patterns are been connected by the wax gate. So this is a wax which is prepared on wax, okay, wax, you know, the wax, the candle wax which is been used by the wax. These types of patterns are been attached. The pattern is made of a metallic dye, okay. In this metallic dye the wax is been poured. By that wax the pattern is been prepared. After when the liquid hot wax is been poured in the metallic dye, okay, after few times that converted into an solid wax, okay, just like a candle, Okay, so like this way the different wax patterns are being prepared and attached to this wax tree. Okay, the wax tree is nothing but it is also called as an gates. Okay, these are working like in gates. So for this the wax patterns. Hello, can you hear my voice? Students, can you hear my voice? So now the time is shortage over here. Just I have got the alert of the 10 minutes. So in the next class in the afternoon, okay, at 1 o'clock we will continue with the next topic. Okay, so I will wind up over here only. Okay, hello, hello, can you hear me? Okay, at 1 o'clock we will continue with the class. Same, huh?